What is going on, everybody? Another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. I'm Brent Abel, that young buck over there with the red roundies today. Jeff Jacklich, and we got another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast for you. And today, Jeff, you've got a story, maybe two, from some on-court coaching that you did with a couple of gold ballers, gold ball hunters.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
guys, hang in with us for the rest of this episode because I think you'll get something very cool for your own game.
So the big question is this. How are tennis players like us who never played on the tour, weren't incredible juniors, or maybe got a late start to the game, how do we consistently compete at our highest skill level without having to grind through endless hours of on-court practice time and still be in the hunt for the victory match after match? That is the question, and Gold Ball Hunting gives you the answers by helping you eliminate your skill level range so that you build a strong foundation of confidence. My name is Jeff Jacklich, and along with Brent Abel, my partner, welcome to Gold Ball Hunting.
All right, guys, well, welcome back. And, another episode of the Gold Ball Hunting Podcast. Jeffrey, what's going on today there, dude?
Beautiful day in NorCal. Crisp. Yeah. Crystal clear, not a cloud in the sky.
Well,
fall day.
According to weather.com on my app, you're going to have some heat today, too, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like it. We're going to get up there, I think, high 80s.
Nice.
Something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, really nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're looking
Good to be back.
We're looking at mid-30s here in the Steamboat Springs, Colorado, Mount Warner area today.
Heavy dose of champagne snow?
It hasn't started yet. It's forecast for more snow today and some more tomorrow. But, sort of turning the camera around and showing you what I look out my window here. Wow. And I'm looking up at the ski area, and I can see one of the runs, and it's just going, I am so ready. I'm so ready to serve my customers.
Right. Please, here.
I mean, we got probably 8 inches here in town, and I'll bet you what I'm looking up, they got to have good 1.5 foot of just
awesome.
Of just come and take me. So
You
anyway,
get up there with the groomers and pack, and then get the good stuff on top.
That's right. Yeah. Got to remember, I spent a couple winters in Bear Valley, California, when I was a young guy, before I really actually started getting into tennis as a competitive player in like 1970, 71. Bear Valley was just kind of a brand new ski resort, and so everything was just awesome, right? Everything was new, and everyone's young, and everyone's just going, God, this is great. And the owners are going, God, you guys just make this the greatest place. Fortunately, now Bear Valley's not the greatest ski area. That's a few decades later. But I didn't have any money then, right? I think I was
right.
I had zero money. So when I wanted to ski, I couldn't afford a ski ticket. So they had this deal where you could become a packer. So in the mornings, they would, if you wanted to pack these certain runs, kind of the intermediate runs, all right, you had to pack for like 2 hours. And it was like 7 in the morning. It's just like, it's so cold. It's so cold. And you're thinking, this is great. I'll get a free lift ticket after I'm done packing for 2 hours. But actually it was pretty good because you'd go up there and I was not a good skier. And so I was just kind of learning how to ski. So a lot of the packing was kind of learning how to kind of side slip down and kind of pack and then have to do a turn in this big powder and, that's Brent, that's not of our idea of packing, okay? And I'd climb back up. And so, but you do that, I don't know, maybe it's an hour and a half, something like that. But at the end of it, the guy said, hey, go ahead, here's your free ticket for the day. Just go, wow, I'm already exhausted. How am I going to ski now?
Right. My legs are noodles. I got nothing left.
Nothing left. So anyway, let's talk about tennis, Jeff, rather than just skiing.
How about that?
So look, guys, before we get into Jeff's story sharing today, Jeff and I are offering a free coaching call to those of you who are players who are actually not only competitive, but are willing to kind of get your results published online or made public somewhere, whether you're a tournament player or a league player, or even that kind of player that, you know what, you have a Wednesday night match and you tell your buddy, I tell you what, we're gonna put our results up on Facebook, or we'll mail them to Jeff and email them to Jeff and Brent and let them put them up on Facebook, or we'll post them on the blackboard inside the clubhouse
Right.
for a day or so. But those are really the players that we're trying to help. Really is I don't know, lack of a better term, but ultra competitive players who are really kind of searching for that next level, right? And that next level could be in tournaments, right? It could be that you're only getting through to the first or second rounds, and you want to get through another round or two. You want to look up at the draw, and there's only 8 guys or 8 gals left, and you're one of them.
You're one of them.
And they made a mistake that they should have seeded. I mean, they seeded 8 players, but they made a mistake without seeding you. And now there's 7 guys in red and there's 1 in black, and boom, that really sticks out. And you go,
Boom.
wow, who is that guy? Because it looks like a round or two ago, he beat one of the seeds.
You beat one of those guys in red.
Yes. And so you're still in black for, this tournament, but maybe the next tournament, the tournament director goes, I think I better seed that guy. I want to put that guy up in red.
They have to look at that. Yeah.
That's right.
Um,
Or those league guys who are really, really itching to get to that next rating label, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what label you're at right now. You could be a 3-0. You could be a 2-5. You're just starting. But you want to get to that next, or you could be a 4-0, 4-5, 4. It doesn't matter. We want to help you. And the only criteria is that you're willing to go through the muck a little bit. You really do kind of do a little bit of the work. And, and
all Shawshank all day, baby.
And all Shank all day, and not thinking that the keys to getting your name in red in the draw, or the keys to getting that next rating label in the league thing, is all about grinding through more stroke technique. Grinding through, well, if I just get a few more revolutions on the topspin forehand, that's the key to winning. What's that term out there? Something about, I don't know, some kind of alert. That is not the key to winning. That's not the key to winning. I don't know, reality check, something like that. So anyway, to get on that call, boy, I'm really going on today. To get on that call.
Are we still talking about the call?
Yeah. Go to goldballhunting.com, drop in the first name and email address, click the button, and you are getting access to our calendar. There you go. I'll shut up. Jeff, what's on your mind?
I don't know.
You forgot already. It's been too long. Let's see.
I know.
We're 7.
We've been talking about coaching a lot. And there's a significant difference between coaching and a standard ball feeding lesson. Where you're looking at stroke production, stroke technique, and doing that. And both
or a do-it-yourselfer.
Yeah.
Who's getting no help.
No help. And so just sharing a little bit, I had 2 players yesterday on the court separately, but one, Rich, who was Player of the Year this year in the 65s in NorCal. So good, great lefty player. And then Julie, she's got, I think, a couple of bronzes and a few silvers. And again, what's interesting with both players, that they've made some great achievements and yet aren't really grounded in constructing tactical points. And so that's where I'm coming in, and we're really looking at their strengths, their weaknesses, and building a framework of plays that they should be deploying in their matches, so they know that, from that menu, today I'm going to use X, Y, or Z, or I'm going to start with these and then I'm going to adjust to these because these things aren't working, or they seem to be feeding this person's strength. So the biggest thing is really getting getting through and understanding that this journey requires that extra set of eyes to look at what you're doing and to probe a little bit through communication, through asking questions. What do you think? What goes through your mind? How do you handle this? And then to hear that response and go, oh, well, here it is. Let me take, those lenses off and let me put a different set of lenses on so you can actually see what the other people are, the players who are winning these gold balls and really, always in the hunt, see what they see when they play, and notice that they use their standard patterns of play to win these matches. And so I think that's just a big part of it, that the players, a lot of players, even good players, don't necessarily have a really solid foundation in what their skill set is, what's in their toolbox, and how to use that toolbox most effectively.
Yeah. Well, and I think the biggest way that we help players, not only through the online stuff, but also what you do on the court with your students, is the shot you just hit. You did not recognize what you actually did to that opponent over there in terms of what's most likely to come back. And
right.
So you can call that anticipation, but that's really this is way more fine-tuned than just simple anticipation. You hit a certain ball over there, and the better players, the gold ballers, they understand what you can and can't do, not only from where you are in the court right now when you hit that ball, but they also understand that I hit the ball there, and if I move here on the court, now I've really narrowed down what they can and can't do. And so you start taking advantage not only of intended shot pattern plays. I'm going to hit this ball here, and assuming that the ball comes back, then I'm doing this. Whoa, I just hit something I didn't intend to, even better than my intention. So I need to take advantage of that, because now I know that, and we see that so much, Jeff. We see that so often with those tournament players, first, second rounders, those league players who just can't quite bump up to the next level, is you and I can stand behind them during points. And as soon as they hit it, our mind goes to, we'll go there.
Yeah. Or, why aren't you going there?
That's right.
Did you not see that they have their foot stuck in the fence like a wolf, like a bear in a bear trap, right?
Yeah,
I mean, it's like,
or did you not see that as you hit that shot, they completely backed up 2 or 3 steps and gave away good court positioning? There's no way they can rob you of time. And in fact, if you go ahead and step in a few steps, whatever they give you back is now going to rob them of time. It's those things that are really hard to figure out on your own, and it's impossible to figure out if you're stuck on the ball machine or if you're stuck on the teaching court with some guy or gal who's just feeding you and just imploring you, more swing speed, do this, do that. It's not teaching you how to play the game. It's not coaching you how to play the game.
Right.
And I guess that's what you're saying is you really helped Rich and Jules yesterday, kind of with, it's not like there's one big pill that gives you the entire game. There's so many little potential situations out there.
And it's different for every player. It's you and I have to look at the player and assess, like, what do they do well? What's the number 1, number 2, number 3? What does the list look like in a hierarchy of best to worst, if you will, and then decide, like, how do we use that skill set to create more wins?
Yeah. And
so it's that discovery is not just my discovery for the player, but the player's discovery, going, gosh, I never really looked at it that way. I always thought, I got to do X, Y, and Z. The other thing that happens is playing in an age group division in senior ball is that the dynamics change every 5 years. You're in a new group, and you're either either you've maintained some of your skill set, and maybe you've lost a little bit in areas. So now you got to make an adjustment maybe in your regular pattern work. And we did that a little bit yesterday for Julia. We had to kind of like help her rethink a little bit one of the processes. One of the biggest things I noticed, though, generally speaking, though, is the hit and watch, the hit and wait to see what I'm going to get to decide what to do next. And that right there is probably one of the biggest variables that will keep you stuck. Not getting over the hump to be able to beat that ninth seed in a Cat 1 national or a Cat 2 national. That lag time, that let's say that decision to not make a decision. That decision to not be focused on monitoring what you just did so you can then best assess the probability of what might come back, that little skill set right there will change your world when you start to
I don't know
really
where we are in the
focus on
recording.
that
This is
skill set.
like 15 minutes and 42 seconds, but folks, Jeff Jacklich has just dropped about 90 seconds of pure gold ball hunting something. But that is brilliant stuff, and I would encourage everyone to go back a couple of minutes and just re-listen again, because the hit and watch is no question what separates the first and second rounders from the guys who were in the hunt. And I don't care. I mean, you and I joked a couple times the last few episodes. How many players do we know that have average strokes but win all the time? How many players do we know that actually hit the ball beautifully but rarely win? And the difference is what Jeff just said. It's the hit and watch. There's so many guys in my age group who have mediocre, average stroke technique, right? And I'm telling you, when people watch video of them or they show up at a tournament and they go, oh, I've heard about this guy. I've heard about this Jimmy Parker, and
He doesn't look like anything special.
and what's the deal? And the deal is that he stopped hitting and watching probably, I don't know, when he was like the third time on the tennis court, someone got to him and just said, kid, the hit and watch don't work. So,
Right.
so anyway, well, listen, Jeff, great stuff as always. And guys, just a reminder, if you want to jump on a free 15-minute coaching call with us, you can do that. And we want to kind of assess, do a quick little assessment, and kind of give you the one thing that we think might help put you in the path to stop hitting and watching, and actually start hitting and taking advantage, really, and just start winning more matches.
You got to make a decision.
Yeah.
The only way to get actual data to be able to assess what you've done is to make decisions. When you stay neutral, then it's just happening to you, and there is no decision. There's no way to look at that and go, oh, I should have done this or I should have done that, because
But look at how many times have you?
You're not making a decision. So there's no way to look through that lens and decide which one would have been the better decision.
But you know what happens? I think a lot of players want to hit and watch it's more because I don't want to hit and move over there because I think that's the spot I could go. But what if I lose the point? And they probably have. I mean, look, how many times you and I go out there and we're against some guy that we've never played before, and we play a shot that we normally do, and we move to the court that we next best court position, and the guy does something that you just go, oh, well, I didn't know he could do that.
Right.
I didn't know he had that. And so even though you lose 1 point, the data that you get is now like, wow. Now you can either formulate a different plan or you can do something a little differently in that situation next time.
Right.
But I think way too many players are scared about losing a point, 1 point,
right.
And that's why there's kind of this deer in the headlights hit and watch.
And the real recon on that too, if it's a player I haven't played and I don't have any of this kind of intel on him, is I got to line it up and do that again because I know I did the right thing.
Right.
And he came up with like the ESPN shot. Okay, does he own that? Or was that just a moment in time today where he's going to click it off once and the rest of the day he's going to miss by a half an inch or an inch, which I'm perfectly comfortable with.
Right.
That doesn't bother me. Him hitting the ball close to the line, but out is out. So
right. Sorry, bro. I can't give you half a point.
Yeah, this is another thing I learned from Rich Anderson at Kenyatta, and that was a quarter of an inch out ain't even close. And literally, all of us players started to really understand that you got to be accurate on your line call, but know that a quarter inch, listen, dude, you're going to have to do better than that for me to miss a call. So anyway, that's another little side note. But that's part of this is that when you're doing the recon in a match and figuring out what to probe against the player and he comes up with an unbelievable shot, is test him again.
Yeah, that's good.
Test him again.
Good. Well, I've always had that theory that any player has probably got 5 or 6 pretty good passing shots in their bag on any given day. And my job is to go out there and pull them out of the hat. I want them out of the hat out of the bag right now. Because if it gets down to crunch time, I know that, well, there's no more in there, so here we go. Anyway.
Yeah.
So guys, listen, coaching call. Go over to goldballhunting.com, drop in a first name and email address, click the button, and you'll get access to our online calendar scheduler. Same deal for you guys who are already on our email list. Any one of our emails you get from us, there is a link that will take you to the calendar scheduler. Jeff, what do we want fine folks to do right now?
Like us, share us, please subscribe. Let us know what you think down below. iTunes and Stitcher, rate and review, goldballhunting.com, spread the word.
Get out there today. Help someone else have a spectacular day. Jeffrey, we're doing this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.